We have one more piece we have to do. Hello. I forgot one little thing we have to fix, which is the mandible part, the part that comes out of the face that we did. So I figured we'd use this lesson as a way to make that in case you're not quite sick of watching me draw a topology yet. So let's select our mesh here. We have our Z sphere. Let's select our mesh. I have something called mandible, which is really the same thing as before, the smooth concept, but I now smooth the mandible. So let's edit topology. And as you can see, we have down here this smooth part, which is going to be the basis for our topology. So let's go ahead and start sketching in our mesh here. So let's click here, here. And I want to make sure this is fairly, not high density, high res, but I want to make sure that this has the capacity to be nice and curvy if we need it to be. I want this to be kind of, have some thickness to it, basically. But that, of course, we can do when we mesh this. So let's start here and draw our guy. Now, I don't need to worry too much about the back part. My hope is to have this kind of come out of something. I mean, we're not actually going to see every ounce of this. So I'm not going to worry too much about the that part of the mandible, but I do want to get this part right. Okay, so I want to undo that and make sure I draw right to this corner here. And let's see how many. We only have 1 point here, so I'll end up probably giving myself some more points to play with there. Now, if you do want to snap your camera, hit the W key to get out of draw mode, and then you can hold down Shift and do that camera snap thing, which I tend to prefer to make sure I'm looking at this almost orthographically. Then hit Q to go back into draw mode, and we're going to draw our way up here. Okay. Now I want to make sure. See how it looks goofy there? I want to make sure that this is doing what it should. If I look at my preview, I'm not seeing much yet because I have to give myself some more some more geometry here. So let's go here. Now I'll preview, and you can see I'm getting some dual faces here. So I must be getting some weirdness here. Let's see. Oh, my thickness is not zeroed out. See, we learned that before, but I thought it was at 0. I was wrong. Not for the first time. Probably. I was probably 6 times before breakfast today, so who knows. Okay, let's just draw. And I just add another row right there. See, I'm holding down Control to select the vertex to move toward, and then, just drawing it across. Oops. This is why I think a program like Topogun must be really fun. I haven't played with Topogun yet. I'm using the W key, by the way, just to move individual vertices, going into move mode just like you would any other time. You see here, we're missing a connection here. So let's go back to draw mode, hold down Alt and click, and that will delete what we were. Okay, go back to, and let's just go back to drawing again. But I always thought Topogun must be really fun because you're just drawing, you're just drawing pieces, drawing faces, and so forth. This is kind of an issue here, so let's see if I can get rid of that piece. Okay, because I'm running out of room here for these faces. So let's see if we can make this work for us. See, here's a little bit issue, so let's hold down Alt and get rid of that guy. Okay, and let's see if we can just squeeze these in here. There we go. Let's preview this. Alright, so we're getting the skin we want. But yeah, you want to make liberal use of the preview tool because it will save you a lot of anger and frustration if you think you've been, working along just fine, and then find out later on that, oh, wait, you missed a part, and and now it's too late. So I'm trying to tweak this mesh a little bit to give me, a bit this kind of turnaround here. Let's try and bring this to the center. Okay. Not really going with any rhyme or reason in terms of where I go when. I just know I know what I need to end up with in terms of my mesh. So I'm just drawing. Like I said, I really think that Topogun must be fun. Oops. Unless you're bad at this, which I am. Alright, so this is pretty good. Let's take a look at our skin here. Okay. Now, when I actually make this, I'm going to make this edge a lot sharper, a lot more, this is round, and I don't like the roundness, but we are kind of, this links to the skin that you're drawing on, so we do tend to be a little bit limited by the skin that we have to use as our guide. And that's not a major deal. Like I said, when you make this into topology, you have the option, of course, that once you do that, to really just move the mesh around, because it's so low res that you can just, do whatever you want. So this should probably be good. Let's go to our skin thickness here, and I want to go to negative 0.008 maybe. Let's preview this. Okay, I want this to be much thicker than that though, and since I'm going inward, it's not a major deal how thick it is. Minus point, in terms of, it's not going to be too thick if we go a little crazy with the mesh. Yeah, I think I might want to go a little bit thicker than that actually. Minus 0.08. That's a lot thicker than that, as you can see. Okay, sometimes you have to go crazy with the number to get a good feel for the parameters of what we're working with. So 0.5, boy, that's just nasty. You can really make some really ugly, some ugly things in here. Okay, that's a little bit better. Still probably a little thick for my taste. And I don't think we need to make it that thick. I'm sorry you're watching me do this, but this is, I told you before, I'm a sloppy worker in the sense that I'm a messy worker. Not sloppy, I'm messy, in that I tend to try different things and never really quite know until I see what I like. Alright, so this is pretty good. We'll take this. We'll have to smooth this out in a big way, but we'll make it adapt to skin here. And let's find it. Skin 001. There it is. Hideous, but we will go in and we'll do some tweaking to this, and we'll make the mandible out of it. So I'm just going to pull these points around. Okay, I don't want to do it really much at all to this while it's in here. Because I really have no context for this when I don't see it with the rest of the mesh. So let's quickly just take care of the most egregious problems. And okay, so I'm going to call this mandible. So I notice this is the skinned version. And let's go back to my robot. Frame up, there he is. And let's append the mandible skin. Okay, so there it is. And it's clearly, doesn't quite belong, does it? Not the moment anyway. So let's grab this and let's hide the other part. So I want to get a feel for where this is going to come. And it's going to come out from inside here. Okay, so I'm going to look from the front here and scale this in significantly. And let's see, let's push this back a little. Let's rotate this up a little bit. And let's turn off symmetry so I can just rotate it and move it. Now let's bring back our guideline here. There's our mandible. It's coming out a little bit, and it's similar. Oh, transparency so I can see. So while it's still in very low res mode, I'm just going to kind of pull this out and shape it a little bit. And I mean, by shape, I mean, I barely mean shape. I just mean, well, I guess shape is the word, but all right, so that's good enough. Just want to get a feel for what it is I'm working with. And you see, I didn't have symmetry on. And ordinarily, I'd be cursing right now, but I can just go to mirror and weld, and that will essentially fix it for me. See, thank goodness for mirror and weld. Saves me so much trouble. So I'm just going to move this into place here. I do want this to kind of be like this jutting piece, okay? And then from the front, let's look at this transparently. Yeah, see, I need this needs to be wider here. I want this to almost feel like a jaw, coming out of that. And let me just turn off the this guy here and make sure everything's still fitting, and it is just barely. Great. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop the video here, and in between videos, I'm just going to go do the creasing thing, so that when we subdivide this, we'll have a nice sharp mesh, and then we'll start playing around with shaping this a little bit. And this is actually probably as close to real honest to goodness sculpting as we'll get. We've been doing a lot of hard surface stuff, which is not the same feel as organic sculpting. But in the next video, we'll actually maybe give that a little bit of a go, because it's really fun and it's actually more intuitive. But it's a little tricky because we're doing it around, while trying to maintain this kind of mecha look. Mecha? Well, whatever. Okay, so next video we're going to start sculpting the mandible. I'm going to take some time here, put some creases in so that we can make it look pretty cool, and I'll be right back. I'll see you in the next video.